So I've been making content on this channel now for over a year, and me and my videographer Scott were chatting earlier, and I've realised I've not actually talked about my own personal journey of how I got into property investment. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down my own personal story, and at the end of the video, I'll be giving you some key takeaways of 3 years of investing in property. So if you're looking to get started in property investment, then hopefully this video is helpful for you. So just to give a bit of context about myself, I'm nothing special. I'm a normal person. I grew up in a small village just outside of Lincoln. My parents were teachers and I went to a normal school. But I was very lucky in the fact that my parents wouldn't force me to go down a specific career path and would support me in what I wanted to do. So I was always taught as a kid to follow the academic route. So study hard, get a degree, get a job, climb up that corporate ladder, get a nice car, get a nice house, and that's what I was told would give me a happy life. So that's exactly what I did. I studied hard, I tried to get a degree, but the reality of it is I'm not book smart, I'm not academic. I'm not one of them people that are A grades. I got C's, D's, I didn't get good grades at school, but I made it through my A levels, and so the next step would be go to university. But before that, I wanted to go travelling. And so I took a gap year, worked at home base full time so I could save up a bit of money, then I went travelling around Eastern Europe and Southeast Asia. So I had a brilliant time, met loads of cool people in hostels, lived out my backpack for 3 months. But what I did realise when I was speaking to these people was they didn't actually have an exit plan or any kind of plan. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if that works for you, then fair play. But for me, I wanted something more stable for my future. And so I took the sensible route. I came home, I went to Notts Trent University to study chemistry. And what I realised was more of the same conversation. People didn't actually have an end goal. And so this is when the alarm bell started ringing in my head. I thought to myself, I need to get a plan here. But by the way, don't let me put you off going to university if you want to go. Some of my friends have got loads of value from the degree, met some great new people, but in my experience, it wasn't for me and I wanted to get a full-time job. So after 3 months of university, I thought to myself, I need to get out of here, I hate my life, I need to do something else. So I moved back home with my mum. I got a full-time job in customer service for Vodafone in Newark, and it was genuinely one of the worst jobs I've ever done in my life. We had a 2-week induction of how to work well in a team, and then we were shoved straight onto the phones, put your headset on, and then you're unleashed to the wolves, which is the British public. And so after a year of getting mentally beaten up on the phone every single day, I thought to myself, there's got to be something out there that I'm going to enjoy more than this. So that's where I found property, and that's where I found books like Rich Dad Poor Dad and Property Magic by Simon Zucci. And this is where I realised that property is a really good vehicle, and this could actually be for me. The next step was to get around people that were actually involved in property. So I was 18 years old, rocking up to a networking meeting going, hello guys, nice to meet you, my name's Joe, and I know fuck all about property, I have no money. So I was actually giving no value to people, but I just wanted to get around people that are doing it. And what I would say as well while we're on this topic is if you're just starting out investment, you don't have any money, you don't have any experience, you're young or you're old, it doesn't matter. But if you're getting started and you attend one of these networking meetings, people will be genuinely happy to meet you, so don't feel like you need to have something in order to get to a networking meeting. So I'd attend viewings on weekends and after work, knowing full well I'm wasting the agent's time because I have no means to pay for it. I don't have any investors, I don't have the knowledge, don't have the experience, but I just wanted to get involved. I just wanted to get a feel of what sort of property is available, and when I'm older, what sort of property I'll be able to buy. Now I know what you're thinking at this stage. Why don't you just get an investor to buy the property with you, and then you can joint venture and build your experience that way. But in my experience, with having no prior experience or contacts, that was a lot easier said than done. So I went back to the drawing board and I thought to myself, how do I get a high paying job without having to go to uni? And that's where I stumbled across an engineering apprenticeship. So with an apprenticeship, it's a brilliant route, you get paid, but you also get to learn the knowledge while you're doing it. Having said that, I needed to wait 3 years in order to get passed out to then start making decent money. Fast forward to 2022, I just passed out as a technician for my work, so I was now in a position where I had a decent salary and I could buy my first property. So what I did was I bought a property in the heart of Lincoln for £92,000. It was a terrace property and it was a 95% loan to value mortgage just after COVID, so the interest rates were brilliant. So the property was in a dire state, it had no central heating, it needed a full rewire, it needed a kitchen, it needed a bathroom, it needed literally everything. So there I am, I've got the keys to my first full renovation, and I realised how difficult it was. So I went to B&Q, I met a chap called Richard, who was an absolute lifesaver because he helped me with everything from start to finish. And so I got a £15,000 personal loan and my savings to then pay for the renovation. So one of the most valuable lessons I learned from my first project was to get on site as much as possible, get my hands dirty, and learn as much as possible about the project management and the costs of each job. It's also worth mentioning, while all this was going on behind the scenes, doing a full-time job, doing a full renovation, I also met a girl called Leah, and she was genuinely my rock for all the shit times. So during the renovation, I didn't actually want to live at the property because I was ripping it all out, and I actually rented out a 2x3 metre room in a house share, and she's always been there from the start. So how did I actually acquire my first buy-to-let then? So when you've got a residential mortgage, if you add value to the property, you'll build equity within the property. So what I did was I got a second charge mortgage to pull out a deposit for the buy-to-let property. So once you're in a position to be able to pull money out of your own home or one of your buy-to-lets, the game completely changes. And so when I got my first buy-to-let property, I did the exact same thing where I added value and then refinanced based on the new valuation so I could then go on to buy new properties. So it was at this point in 2023 where I started to make content based on the things that I was doing the day-to-day, how I'm investing in property, how I'm starting my business. So hopefully you get some value and hopefully we can work together in the future. And so if you're looking for hands-off buy-to-let opportunities in Nottingham, Derby or Lincoln, then feel free to drop East Mids down below and I'll be in touch to see if I can help. So looking ahead into the future then, and what do I have planned? So I want to continue doing the YouTube channel, so if you're enjoying the content, please do leave a like and subscribe, it massively helps out the channel. And if you want to speak on a one-to-one basis, feel free to join the Investors Platform community group on Facebook. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check that out. I'm looking to grow the event side of the business. Don't worry, I'm not selling you any courses. I just like getting people together that are interested in property. So I've hosted 2 events so far in Lincoln, had about 40 to 50 people there. It's a really good event with guest speakers and networking before and after. So if you're interested in the next one, it's the 3rd of April. 6 till 9 PM at the Hilton Hotel in Lincoln, so I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check out tickets. In addition, I'm looking to continue building buy-to-let portfolios in the East Midlands for myself and investors, so if you're interested in hearing more about this, make sure to leave East Mids in the comments below and I'll be in touch. So thanks for watching today guys. I just wanted to finish this video off with a few key takeaways and lessons I've learned over the past few years, so hopefully you'll get some value from it. And so just to reiterate, I'm not perfect, there's people doing way better than me, way more successful, but I just want to share a few wins that have worked for me in my experience. So firstly, and most importantly for me, is focus on one strategy. Right at the start of my career, I was looking at all sorts of different strategies, so I focused on one strategy, buy-to-lets in the East Midlands, Nottingham, Derby and Lincoln. So get to know your area really well, get to know your strategy really well, get to know the regulations, legislation, so you can help people. 2 is become patient. These things don't happen overnight. I'm fully aware that I'm right at the start of my journey and it's probably going to take decades to get where I want to get to, but you've got to start somewhere and these things take time. So keep your head down, keep ploughing on, and these things will happen over time. So number 3 is get around good people who genuinely want you to win and do the same for other people, and those people who don't want you to win, fuck them off and genuinely get them out of your life as soon as possible. So number 4, this is something that I've struggled with for years, is focus my time on things that actually matter. It's never been easier than 2025 to get distracted by social media or the news, but just focus on that one thing you need to be doing and ask yourself why you're doing it. Number 5 is keep track of your income and your outgoings. So I use a simple Excel sheet so I know exactly what's coming in, what's going out, and what I can allocate towards the business and my life. So number 6 is to invest in yourself, invest in your mindset, invest in your knowledge, invest in people. Just keep getting yourself out there. You never know when an opportunity will come. Number 7 is understanding the importance of marketing. So invest money into, YouTube production, Facebook ads, all the things that are going to get you out in front of people, because marketing is at the top of the funnel. So number 8 is to keep the job until you actually have to give it up. So it's glamorised on Instagram to quit your job, go full time into your business, but in my experience you'll have a more stable income, cash flow, and lenders are more likely to loan you money. Number 9, and this is something my mortgage broker has taught me, is to buy my first residential property first before buying a buy-to-let, as it's a lot easier to actually get the lending. And also, there's ways of building your own wealth through your residential property using the PPR strategy. So number 10, and this might be a bit of a controversial one, but consider uni before you actually go into it. Are you going to uni because you want to, or are you going to uni because other people want you to? Because no one talks about the debt that you're going to have to pay off at the end of it. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I know it's a bit of a different video this time, but I really enjoyed making it. It's from my own personal experience, so hopefully it's added some value to you. And if you press like and subscribe, that'll massively help out the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.